Oh, there we go. Cool. Hold on. They can't. YouTube cannot see TikTok chat still. 1 second. Shrink this. Bring it like this. Bring it down. And bring this up. There. Okay. You have options. I don't think that's the right word. 1 second. I'm getting stuff situated for YouTube. So YouTube can tune in. Music's okay. You've got opinions. If you can't even spell opinions, I'm just gonna assume you're a child. No offense. Like the spam plus the grammar is giving me indications that you are a child. 1 second. Okay, YouTube is up. Let me just pop it out so I can make sure that I can track. Whoopsie. I can follow. How do I pop this out? Pop out chat. Okay. I know I'm a little bit behind. Just give me a sec. What's the difference between veganism and vegetarian? So the difference between veganism and vegetarian is that veganism is a philosophy and vegetarian is a diet. Vegetarians just don't consume animal flesh, right? So they still drink milk and eat eggs. Wait, hold on. Do I hear myself? No. Okay. And veganism is a philosophy against the exploitation and use of animals or sentient beings, period. Not just animals, because that that encompasses a lot of living creatures that are sentient. So yeah, one's a philosophy, a way of living, and one is a diet. They're not the same. Vegetarians still contribute to exploitation. They still support the egg industry. They still support the dairy industry, and those are rooted in exploitation. Give me 1 second. What am I doing? Do you think plants are living creatures? They're not creatures. They're living. Didn't think so. Even plants know you're wrong. They know. They have the capacity to understand and know that being eaten is wrong. I feel bad for you, man. Carnivorous plants? Yeah, so these plants that are quote unquote carnivorous, like the Venus flytrap, they're not sentient. They're not like eating flies and trapping flies, or even what is the other one that's like, it looks like a bell and it lures in with a scent, it lures in insects and then it closes the top flap. It's very similar to a Venus flytrap. But yeah, they're not sentient. They're just reacting to the stimulus of the fly landing on them. They're not like, oh, I'm hungry, let me trap this fly. They're not the same thing, dude. I feel bad when you are just gonna, maybe do some Googling, some light research and educate yourself on it. Then I'll feel bad. Vegetarian eat eggs, honey. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. Did you hear what I said earlier? Unless you're responding to somebody else. Don't listen to what Ansku said. They're just wrong. It's not about not using animal products. That's not what veganism is. Because if I go to the circus, I'm not using animal products, right? But I'm supporting an industry that exploits animals for entertainment, right? So don't listen to what Ansku said. They clearly do not understand what veganism is. So veganism is a philosophy and a lifestyle that seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable. That's a key thing to remember. As far as you practicably can, all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty. So that includes humans. And exploitation. Well, I think I said that already, but yeah. Wear leather clothes? We don't wear leather. Just wrong. Oh, unless you're talking about vegetarian, yes. Then yeah, probably some vegetarians wear leather. Some might not. It's a flawed ideology because it's rooted in diet and feeling sympathy for the animal. So vegetarians, what they do and don't do is going to vary, but they overall still contribute to the exploitation of animals by supporting the dairy industry and the egg industry. I mean, yeah, you could eat breakfast burritos without animal products, bro. I had a breakfast burrito the other day. I meal prepped a bunch of Crunchwrap Supremes because I like tacos, and yeah, they don't have any animal products in them. So, cotton's a plant; it's not a animal product. Maybe you meant to say like wool, which is also exploitation, right? You're not a soy boy? What do you even mean by soy boy? Like, soy boy is often used to describe someone as being soft. I bet you I'm much bigger and larger than you, and stronger. So I don't know why you decide to use that term on the internet. You should stop watching a bunch of YouTube debaters and maybe educate yourself on a couple things. Who would have thought that telling people to perform an inaction in that you don't need to unalive animals for food or clothing is considered soft? Wonder what the women in your life think about you. What's PFAs? Can you elaborate? And you're allergic to soy. What does that make me? I mean, I don't know what PFAs is, but you don't have to eat soy, right? You can get protein from plants. You can get all essential amino acids in plants. Peas, corn, seitan, soy, tofu. There's a lot of ways to get protein. There's more plant source proteins than there are animal-based proteins. Animal-based proteins. Yeah, blessed Santa. We're not forcing our beliefs on anybody. The only one forcing anything on anyone is you forcing your food choices and your clothing choices on animals, right? You're just saying, hey, I need to eat you for protein, so I'm going to enslave you and take your babies from you so I can take your milk and your flesh for protein. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to the animals? I'm not gonna pull you up, Mason. Sorry. I'm not interested in having a conversation with you. You haven't really contributed anything to the conversation other than I have opinions. So no. Yeah. Do you know at what maybe I can't live stream and work. Do you know at what time in their life period male calves are sent to slaughter for veal? You know how old they are? I'm not speaking to you, Joey. How old? Tell me. Well, 6 to 7 months is early, but it's not really standard. It ranges depending on where, but I'm gonna mute you if you keep spamming. Actually, I'm just gonna mute you. Stop spamming, bro. Because I was gonna be courteous and actually go by the typical standard average, but 6 to 7 months is, yeah, that's nice. I'm glad that you think it's funny to joke around about the fact that male cows are sent to slaughter for veal anywhere from 10 to 18 months of age, and they can live up to 15 to 20 years old. So they're like babies. And you think it's funny to joke around about that. It's pretty sad. Talks about your masculinity. If you feel like making fun of that is funny. Gabby, are you still there? Did you want to come up? I thought I could work and do this, but maybe if I pull people up, I can do it. I can't read chat, respond to it, and also work. Yeah, so you sent me a message on TikTok that you wanted to go live together. When did you want to do that? I'm going to be live now for a little bit, or like maybe for 2 hours, and then I have a work meeting, and then I'm going to eat lunch real quick, and then I'll go live again. What do I think about artificial meats? I'm all for it. If it stops people from exploiting animals, hell yeah. Hey, morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I wanted to go live early, but maybe I can't do it. How are
So
you?
you're
Doing good?
working and going live.
Yeah. I can I think if I have a conversation with somebody or we pull people up, it's easy for me to like look at my computer screen and work while talking.
Yeah,
But
yeah, of
yeah.
course. You can totally do that.
Yeah. Let me is the music too loud? It feels loud on my end. Let me lower it. Okay. Do you hear the music anyway?
It's better now, I think.
Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, did you want to pull? There's somebody up in there now. I think you're a moderator, so you can definitely pull people up if you have the ability to do that on the phone.
Oh, right. That's why I had like a number one in the guest box, and I think like why have that this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's confusing when people
Uh,
make you mod.
I think I'm mod on Matthew's lives and yours. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, those two.
Yeah.
So, do we have some requests?
I think
No.
there's one. Let me. They've been there and there for a while. Let me pull them up and see if they're still there. They
Hey
might have
Lee, how
left.
are you? Matthew, how are you?
Yeah, not your friend. If you care so much about the animals that are unalive during the plowing of fields, you also eat the same food that those animals are being unalived for, as well as the all the animals that eat uh, those same crops. You're also responsible for those deaths as well. So if you care so much about animals that are being unalive during the plowing of fields, you should go vegan.
Yeah,
And
the thing
why
is,
bring that up? Yeah, go ahead.
people just don't understand that the animals they are eating just eats plants so they can have the quote unquote protein, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just skip the step to unalive animals and just eat directly from the source?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's easy. That's even uncomplicated because you want the protein, don't you have to eat the meat of animals and you are skipping the first step. And when you eat an animal flesh, you're eating also their diseases. You're eating their antibiotics, all the medicine the industry put on them. So it's it's better for you to eat the plants in case you want to be plant based
Mm-hmm.
because being vegan is something different.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are so concerned about plants and they are not concerned about killing animals, and that's not even make sense for me. how
Yeah.
how you can be concerned about me eating plants that I'm not hurting anyone in the process, and you are not worried about you eating anyone or someone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You are not worrying eating someone that is a sentient being.
Exactly. They just don't care. They self-reflect. They deflect. They feel attacked because you're telling them that they don't have to do this, and if you're contributing to this and these terrible things, it makes them feel like they're terrible people. But plants are alive. They're not sentient. When was the last time you felt
Exactly.
bad for cutting a carrot?
Maybe they don't have the definition of being sentient beings and that plants are alive. They just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. I welcome any
Yep.
of the other vegans if you want to come up and we make this a thing and I pull people up. There's a couple people in here that are on right now that have mod. Gabby,
Persona.
Persona, yeah. You guys can pull people up and we can have conversations with people. Chat is going crazy, but no requests so far. No requests. So anybody is welcome to. Any vegans and non-vegans are welcome to come up. I'm trying to work and do this as well. So I might need some reinforcements.
So Pompali asked if vegans are anti-abortion. What is your intake on this?
Uh, I I don't know. I don't know. I don't like talking about that topic only because it's like every vegan is gonna feel differently about that. So I don't know. I leave that depend on the person, but uh,
Yeah, I think the same. I think abortion is not on the question to talk about and related to veganism because that's a personal choice and yeah,
yeah. I
for
mean,
for the
the only
for the
thing.
person.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, the only thing I worry about when somebody says like that is that then they're gonna use it against you and say, oh, but it's a personal choice for me to eat animals, and then you say, well, there's a sentient being, and then they're gonna say, oh, well, the baby in your belly is sentient, blah blah, and it's like it's just a road I
Yeah.
don't like going down. Um, it's like
Yeah,
complicated.
maybe because maybe people are not educated about abortion and everyone thinks that I don't know. It's a hard topic. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe we should
yeah.
skip that.
They're just trying to use it as a way to justify what they're doing to find some sort of hypocrisy. So, and it's like I don't know. I like don't like talking about the abortion and political stuff as well, just to avoid keep it focused on the animals rather than trying to find a way or an excuse to point out some sort of hypocrisy. But
Yeah.
I would say
So
that I'm
the
not a hypocrite when it comes to that topic, but I won't talk about the topic.
yeah, yeah, of course. Hey, so I was yesterday listening to Fox Lady Live, and she was just explaining to me what happens to the foxes
Hmm.
when they get hunted, and I wasn't even aware of the cruelty and everything they have to go through just for people to have fun and call that a sport.
Hmm.
They call that like a sport, and I don't even begin to understand that. I watched some videos last night, and it's too much to handle. And I think it's important for everyone here. Like we have almost 13 people, but that they can investigate on fox hunting because animal cruelty is just doesn't stop on the slaughterhouses. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to that too, so I was learning with you as well. But yeah,
oh,
it's
okay.
it's crazy how people try to find the silliest ways to justify how to have fun. I mean, do something else. Like it's like it's just even sometimes it feels even worse than people that eat animals, just because they people that still eat animals might just be uneducated on like proper nutrition or what actually has to happen to animals. I mean, there's so many people that come in here and say, oh, I didn't know that a mother cow has to be pregnant to produce milk. But when you say that you just want to go and shoot foxes just for fun is sick. It's just way worse to me.
I think it speaks volumes about the psychic state of mind of people that do that because you have to be a psychopath to
Mhm.
enjoy like hunting and torturing a animal and call yourself hunter and enjoying that. It's like sadistic.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense how those people are not in jail
Yeah.
because you can imagine if they were people,
Mhm.
humans.
Mhm.
You will be right in jail because you can chase a human and 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 unalive them just for fun because you are a psycho or a serial killer. But
Mhm.
when it comes to an animal, it's okay, it's fun, it's legal. So it's absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, and Persona even said it in the comments that let me meet this person. Yeah, even somebody was on the live, the Wara United live yesterday, and they didn't. I mean, maybe they were trolling. I would hope they're trolling, but even they didn't know that women had to be pregnant to produce milk.
Oh, I was there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard that, and I think it was genuine that he didn't know that.
Ugh,
I,
man.
I think it was genuine that he didn't know that because it sounded like okay, new information for him. I don't know.
I mean,
Do
that's why I'm
do
not
you need?
surprised sometimes by what people don't know. Yeah.
Well, before I went vegan, I was a vegetarian and I didn't know a lot of things. Um, just because my culture doesn't show like a bit of interest of taking care of animals, and I I was like in a blind side
Mm-hmm.
with all the cruelty. And when I start researching and investigating everything, I I I realized that I ignore so much things, and I know the people where I live is just blindfolded, you know.
Yeah.
Do you need me to be aware of the comments so you don't
Um.
work?
No, no, no. I'm. If you, yeah, if you, you can just do whatever. If you see somebody come up and you want to pull them up, or you want to address something in the comments, or just want to talk, like it's like whatever. I'm okay with whatever. There was a couple people in here, but now it's just vegans. But I'm sure that will
Yeah,
change over time. So while we wait, we can just hang out, talk, or pull other vegans
yeah.
up, whatever.
We can pull Persona. Persona, are you afraid of us?
I don't know what's going on with Persona. He's been hiding lately. He
He's
was.
just afraid.
He's
He's
afraid.
just afraid of the comments of bacon. I love bacon. He's traumatized by the deep knowledge of meat eaters.
Veganism is the way. I think
Yeah.
somebody asked where you're from, but you don't have to
Me,
share
I'm
that
from,
if you want to,
yeah,
of
no,
course.
I'm from South America. I'm from a country in South America. I was born here and keep traveling to South America and Miami a few times a year. So, yeah.
I'm gonna regret asking this because I know where it's gonna go. But are you Hispanic?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, okay.
I'm
No, uh,
Hispanic, or, and some people say Latino,
yeah,
maybe Latin girl. Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
Hispanic too.
I don't have any problem about that. Like really.
Okay. No, because I know if I say I'm Hispanic, then you're gonna ask me if I speak Spanish. I'm gonna tell you no, and then you might give me shit for not speaking Spanish.
No, no, not really, because I think that comes from your house, your mom, your parents,
Hmm.
and if they didn't teach you Spanish at the very first age, it's not your fault. So
Hmm. Yeah, when
it's what I think.
yeah, that's my parents. I think I don't know why, but they feel like they don't speak great Spanish, or they speak ghetto Spanish, what they quote unquote say. So I think they've always felt insecure about their Spanish, so they never really raised us with using Spanish. They used English. But when my grandmother was alive, and I would visit her a lot, she spoke Spanish to me a lot, and I feel like back then I knew, at least understood Spanish. But since she's been gone, I haven't had that around, so I like just forgot a lot of Spanish stuff. But yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a lot of family living in New York
mhm.
since almost 20, 20,000.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to say that number in English. And they have been there like almost 25 years. And a few cousins are Native America, like
Mhm.
US citizens and everything. And they can understand my Spanish, but they can't speak it. They can speak Spanish. I can talk to them in Spanish, but they can reply because just don't they don't know how to talk.
Yeah. Well, I guess the reason why I ask is because I've being Hispanic and being around a lot of Hispanic family members and parties and stuff, it's always a topic of conversation. I mean, I'm sure that's the same with everybody, regardless of your ethnicity.
You're vegan.
But yeah, just being vegan around like
Mm.
Hispanic family members, they're so, at least mine are so outspoken. So it's like always a topic of conversation, especially from like the older Hispanics in my life.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I
Yeah,
can't.
it's hard because the minute I get in my grandmother's house, she just wants to feed me.
Mm-hmm.
And she just always wants to say like, you have to eat chicken, you have to eat pork, you have to eat meat because you are not getting healthier and healthier, and it's difficult for me to explain to her that she has like 76 years old, I think. I
Uh
don't
huh.
know. And she doesn't understand. It's just a thing that it doesn't click on her mind. She thinks that I'm crazy, that I'm just being like a hip,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being like a cool person, being like following a trend, and she just doesn't get it. And that is a lost battle for me because I just rather to eat before going to her house and said, "Oh no, sorry, I already ate. Don't worry." And yeah, and so the other older elders starts to say like, "Oh, no, that veganism stuff is just for some some not kind words they use sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if here if you are not eating meat, you are either poor or either just like I don't know, they don't have respect for people that doesn't eat meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how it is in other cultures, but yeah, like that's something that being a Hispanic um, is like a common thing, at least for me and like my family, is that they're always very involved in your health, and they're trying to push what they think is right for you. Like you said, like, oh, you need to, you go to your family members' houses and like, oh, you look skinny. You need to
Yeah.
eat this. You need to eat that. Or oh, you look overweight. Like, what are you doing? Blah 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 blah. Especially like, at least in my family, it always seems like if you're more leaning towards being overweight, you're actually healthier than being skinny. And I tell this to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, in my place it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I'm not overweight. I think I have some weight on me, but they still think that is because I only eat pasta, and not because of some hormonal things that I have been to deal with, and that the fact that I only have one kidney, and that my body is just not working the same way that the other bodies does.
Oh,
They just said, "Oh, you're vegan and you're eating pasta, so that's why you are getting weight,
yeah. No, I didn't know
gaining
about
weight."
that.
So,
Sorry about that.
oh yeah, no, that was like almost 6 years ago, I think. 2017. I don't know how to say numbers in English. I have to study that. Like, I had my left kidney removed.
Oh,
Yeah, my life changed so much, but I was already vegan,
yeah.
so the doctor said that maybe I should. One of the doctor, because the other one said that it's okay that I'm vegan. One of the doctors said that I need to eat more red meat
God.
in order to keep safe my other kidney, and I just roll my eyes and say, okay, okay, thank you, yeah, thank you for the
Yeah.
advice. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, yeah, I will be, yeah, I will be eating meat, yeah, of course.
I'm glad you got a second opinion. So that's good.
Yeah, no, I went to like five doctors because it was a serious thing, and I didn't want to stay with the first, because the first said to me like, "Oh, we have to remove your kidney," and I was afraid that he just wants money, and or even that my kidney was okay and he want to sell it. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, you never know. I know, like,
yeah, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't trust doctors.
yeah, yeah. It's good for you to get a second opinion. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
feel the same way
I can
sometimes. So,
trust. I can trust people that say that eating animals is better for your health.
Hmm.
I just can't.
Yeah, that's good. Well, there's somebody here. I don't know if this is a
Okay,
troll. Let's see if this person's a troll.
I think he is.
Well, he's not there. He
Oh,
disappeared.
he's not there.
This person has been in here for a while, but they probably left. No, they're still here. DG333. Are you there?
How's it going? Yeah,
Hey, are you over 18?
yeah, I am. I'm
Awesome.
23.
Okay, cool. Do you understand the definition of veganism or what veganism is?
Well, I mean, there is different versions of veganism. Some people do it specifically for the health benefits, while it's other people do it for like a social, political reason. It's like activism.
So I would say,
Mm.
just to right off the bat, if it's something that somebody's claiming to be doing for health reasons, then they're not vegan. That's plant based, right? Because veganism is not a diet; it's a philosophy. So,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be, but like dietary, like definition wise, it can be like if you go to your doctor, they're gonna ask you, are you pescatarian? Are you vegan? Are you vegetarian? That's what I mean.
yeah,
It can be labeled as a diet, but it's also activism. I do know that.
yeah. I mean, I think that's just a problem with, you know, I think society as a whole, news reporters and media as a whole, not really understanding what veganism is. So I know that they use it interchangeably in that way with a diet, but it's just not a diet. You know, that's a plant-based diet. And hopefully the more people are educated on what veganism actually is, we'll stop using that word in terms when it comes to diet. And then doctors and things like that will learn to say plant-based and not not vegan, because what you said secondly about it being more of a protest. Yeah, that's correct. It's about it's about seeking to exclude, as far as practical and possible, all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty. So that's like zoos, um, riding horses, bullfighting, dog racing, wearing leather, wearing wool. It's about saying,
Fox
hey,
hunting.
yeah, fox hunting. It's
Sorry, I'm
about
traumatized.
no, yeah, you're right. I mean, but in all regards of exploiting animals, we want to exclude those things. Does that make sense?
So your end goal is to like reduce exploitation as much as possible, right?
To
Yes.
sentient beings, yeah.
Okay. Um, my main confusion behind this is when vegans have an issue with hunting when comparing it to like commercial farming, like, you know, big ass farms with no space for animals versus somebody, taking care of an animal in a nature setting. Like, do you believe that hunting is at least a little more ethical than what the farming industry does in the United States?
I
Mm.
would say no. I think there's no right way to do the wrong thing. Just because you do it less or you have less of an impact doesn't mean that it's okay. And I think I think one thing that a lot of hunters or people in general should understand is that the idea itself of commodifying animals for your benefit is the whole reason as to why these factory farms exist. To see them as a resource for us to use is just perpetuating to everybody else the idea of, hey, they're just here as a resource and we should do what we please with them. And that if everybody started hunting, we stopped doing factory farming and everybody just started hunting, then like that would not be sustainable. So it would have to then result into going back to factory farming. So it doesn't really it's not a better ethical way. You're still taking animals' lives unnecessarily, and you're doing it out of your own interest rather than the interest of the animal. That's what I would
Well,
say.
I would still argue that it's definitely more ethical in the terms of like how many people kill animals a year hunting versus how many animals die in factory farms and how much waste comes from factory farms. They don't even use the full animal. While I, an experienced hunter, know how to use a majority of the animal and have as like a least amount of waste as possible. And I think it's also far more sustainable because I kill one deer, I could feed a whole family of four for a whole year with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but would you say that it's good for the deer?
Most deer that I shoot are pretty much close to the end of their lifetime. Many deer die young. Like they don't have like insanely long lifespans. They can live up to like 15, 20 years,
Yeah.
but it's really rare.
But
I'd say the deer I've shot were probably 13, 14 years old.
do you think that it's like just because they could potentially um, be unalived in the wild from a bear or another animal or disease, do you think that that's like okay to say, well, that's going to happen. It's rare that they live 15 to 20 years, so I might as well, take them for a benefit. Do you think that that's fair for the deer? Because you're just saying like,
I
oh,
do think it is fair because I look at it in the sense of this. Us humans, we are animals. We became civilized. We've started, huge societies, right? But we were once a part of the food chain. And that is, without a doubt, in our DNA. We are meant to be omnivores. That's why we have canine teeth.
Oh
Everybody,
my God.
it's a guarantee that when before we evolved into like Homo sapiens, that we did not have the same structure of teeth or whatever because they in certain areas they would only have mostly plant-based diets based on what they could hunt because they were smaller, they were weaker than what humans are now. We're larger than our ancestors, you should say.
well, so there's two problems with that, right? Because the fact that we are omnivores means that we can, based off of information and studies done by the largest body of dietetics, the Nutrition of Academy and Dietetics, right? They have already concluded that we can, because we're omnivores, we can thrive on a plant-based diet at all stages of life. So because we have the ability to survive from eating plants, then we should at least take the moral route inside and say that, okay, since we don't need to eat animals, then maybe we shouldn't eat animals because they deserve the right to life. And the other problem with the evolution of our teeth, if you actually look at the overall change in our skeletal structure and our teeth structure as well, over time through evolution, we've actually evolved closer towards leaning towards herbivore than carnivore. Our teeth structure when we were first back way millions of years ago were actually larger and we had a larger jaw. And now because of over time of evolution in our diets, yeah, we've learned to cook meat and we have the capacity to consume animal flesh, but overall, in terms of evolution, we've actually evolved closer to being herbivorous than carnivores.
So do you
Yeah,
think it's like unethical for carnivorous animals or omnivores like bears to eat other animals because they can thrive off of a diet fully based off of plants? Because also it's not necessarily true. Just because
Well,
you're an omnivore doesn't necessarily mean you can thrive purely
well,
off of plants.
well, look,
Like a bear needs meat in its diet
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
amino acids.
Before we jump topics, I want to let Vegan Knowledge at least respond to the point before, so she can at least have her input. So go ahead.
Yeah, so you're saying that we have canine teeth, right? So that we need to eat meat. That's right? That's what
No,
you
it's
think?
not that we need to eat meat. It's optional, but that's why we're omnivores.
You said that we are omnivores because we have canine teeth.
No, I said we're omnivores because we need everything from all these animals, like animals and plants and whatever roots, whatever you would want to say, that
Okay,
are
so
essential to
let's
our
put it
that are essential to our diet.
this way. So have you ever bite a veal with the skin and the hair and all the blood and all the guts? That's the way you eat it, like if you are a lion, because that's the way lions eat their meat.
I
They
mean, I'd
don't
say
use
humans are definitely capable of biting other people. I mean, I'm just saying, like
no
Mike Tyson
people
bit a dude's
no
ear
just
off.
don't can you bite a cow and eat like your T-bone raw with all the flesh and all the hair and all the guts and all the blood?
I mean, you can, but that's why humans, unlike other
Okay,
animals,
okay.
we no, but
Yeah,
unlike other animals, we are more
okay. So,
advanced. We understood how to cook, how to use tools, how to build
okay.
societies, how
So,
to speak to each other, understand
perfect.
learning, understand math, science,
Okay.
etc. It all
Let her
Okay,
develops.
let
okay.
hold on. Let her finish her
That's
point.
great. No, no, it's okay. That's great. That's awesome. And so if you have the option to choose to eat something that that doesn't involve cruelty, someone that is, if you can eat a plant that it doesn't involve cruelty, why you choose to eat the cruelty? If our humans, we can decide what is the good and the bad thing. So killing animals
Do you,
is a bad thing
do you want to know
because
my
you said
reason for eating meat versus like selecting a selection of plants? to eat
Okay.
or whatever. So if you were to have a vegan diet, you have to eat a huge selection to get the same amino acids that are necessary to the body's health.
It's not true.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Red
No,
meat,
it's not.
in red
I
meat,
can
it has
show you,
essential amino acids. Chicken has essential amino acids where you don't need to eat it combined with a multiple set of assortments.
but that
Yeah,
doesn't make it okay.
go
That
ahead.
doesn't make it okay because that you eat, even if you eat chicken and you have the most amino acid in just one bite, that doesn't make it okay because it's not about a diet. It's just not about how many plants I need to eat in order to process protein. It's not about that. It's not about food. If we put this topic of the food and the protein and the amino acids aside, we only just have the moral aspect of it. And that's why we are vegan, because if we weren't vegan, we were just here talking about our diet, and I can show you my nutritional plan. And but I'm not a plant-based. I'm a vegan for the moral and the right thing to do towards animals. You said that you kill um, animals because you see you think that they are old, and yeah, it's better for them to kill them, and just put that onto humans. If serial killers use that statement on a stand, on a courthouse, oh no, I'm a serial killer only to other elderly people because they are just sick and they are going to fall in their stairs in the houses, so I'm just go to their houses and hunt them because they are old, so they are going to die anyway. Do you think that is right? That is not right. You can unalive anyone, and that includes animals. So that being said, this is not something about your diet or the protein, or if we have canin feed of we are omnivores. You can discuss that to a plant-based guy, but not with us that we are vegan, because we are vegan because we care for animals and sentience.
So are you saying that we should treat animals equally as to humans, essentially, right?
No, nobody's
Oh,
saying that we should.
nobody's.
So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm
Let
asking
me
you one
let
thing.
me
I'm
breathe.
asking you one thing.
Let me breathe.
There is such thing as ethical hunting. I don't know if you guys know this, but I come from a place that's close to Canada. Okay, I'll tell you a story. There was tons of Canadian wolves going into my state. It was in northern Michigan. They were killing mass amounts of the deer population, where the deer population was, it was like struggling to perform and
Why is that your
reproduce.
problem? Can I just I don't want to cut your story short. I really don't, but I want to just get to the point.
I'm getting to I'm
No,
getting
I'm
to the
not trying to
point.
get you to get to the point. I'm going to just try to get to the point. Why is it your problem if the deer population goes down? Why is that a concern for you?
Do you want
Yeah.
animals in a certain region to go extinct because you need to kill predators in
I mean,
order for those animals to thrive?
there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of species of insects and animals that go extinct every year. Like,
Every year,
why is it
exactly.
a concern for you that the deer population is decreasing? Now, if you're trying to say that
Because
the wolf,
I eat meat,
exactly, so you
and no,
see it
but
as a
also,
resource.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're
but no, but
encroaching on your resource, and you're trying to use the idea of
so
hunting wolves as an
your guys'
excuse.
viewpoint though, but your guys' viewpoint, this is what I was getting to. We should treat animals equally to humans,
No,
right?
nobody's saying
So if
that.
an
No,
animal
at
No,
kills a
least
no,
human, we're
no.
gonna arrest that animal. We're gonna put it in
nobody's
prison.
saying that we should treat humans and animals the same. We're not saying that we should treat, excuse me, we shouldn't treat we should treat humans and non-human animals the same. We're not saying that. We're just saying that they deserve the basic right to life. Just that. Basic right of at least living. You are saying that, well, these wolves are encroaching on the fact that they're decreasing the deer population, so I might as well find an excuse to hunt and consume these animals as a resource and get in the way of that and just hunt them. That is the problem. That is why we're not trying to say as vegans that they should be equivalent to humans. They're not. They're not going to vote for the next president, and they're not going to, get jobs. It's just the right to at least life, to live, to be left alone, to have their own families, to have their own desires, their own wants, and have that fulfilled. Not try to use wolves as an excuse to hunt, to kill them, to unalive them. It doesn't make sense. You're just trying to get involved in
Yeah,
something that does not involve you. You're just trying to find an
no,
excuse
So
to
you would rather
partake.
have the
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, don't interrupt when he's talking, because I will keep muting you. So respect the right to speak at least.
No, but what I'm saying,
mm-hmm,
you bring up this argument of right to life.
mm-hmm.
So in my county, where all these deer were practically, there was one season that was completely unhuntable. There was not enough deer to hunt. They did not want people hunting because the deer population was low. Okay, they canceled literally a whole deer season, which is usually uncalled for.
Uh-huh.
Why is it an issue that I said that your argument, the right to life of a being, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to save the deer population. The DNR does care about animals, but they also care about people.
No, they don't care
And the
about
people hunt
animals.
to live.
They don't care about
These people,
animals. They care about the
Yeah,
fact that you are purchasing license from them, and they're profiting off of the fact that you want to hunt animals. They're not doing it
please
because they care about deers.
please let Ed Ozark up. I can make him up. I don't know why.
Oh,
I don't know
weird.
if that's a
Yeah, I'll invite him up.
yeah,
Where's Ozark? Are you here, Ozark? Here, Ozark.
yeah, he is.
I talked to Ozark because he's more versed on the hunting aspect. But yeah, I still everything I've said, I still stand on. But have a conversation
but
with
what I,
Ozark.
I was trying to make a point earlier.
Hey, DG, I got a question for you. I wanted to kind of address your claim about humans needing to eliminate predators to preserve like the prey population, specifically wolves and deers. Are
Deer.
you are you aware that deer have been alive, like have been a species longer than humans?
Yeah.
Yeah, and same with
So as a
wolf,
majority of
right?
mammals.
Oh, hold on. Let me just finish really quick. Same with wolf, right?
Yeah.
So why are you under the assumption that humans somehow need to manage both populations when they were doing just fine without our management of them in the first place?
Let me think. That us humans have populated on their land, right? And it pushed them into certain sects, like into the woods, wherever it may be, right?
Yeah, but a lot of that those issues also stemmed from us hunting them as well, right? So don't you think like a more non-interventionalist approach would be better for both populations, seeing that they have both naturally canceled each other out before humans?
Yeah, but the issue with animals going extinct from humans before is because there wasn't any licensing and limitations on hunting.
No, I'm
You
not
could
talking about that. I'm saying deer and wolf populations have managed each other for longer than humans have been a species.
exactly, but before humans needed to live off the land. I'm sorry, by human nature, they hunt. Like that's what we've always been doing. We've been doing it since our literal, like the literal
So
birth of
humans are
humanity.
responsible for more than 96% of extinction and endangerment, and that is because of our animal consumption. So don't you think, like, seeing that we grow enough food without the need for animal consumption, that we should just maybe avoid that in order to avoid other species going extinct?
Sure. But if you guys like care about animals, this is my point. With the vegan diet, you guys need plants to grow. You guys also have to agree that we
Wait,
need
wait,
mass
wait.
manufacturing of plant foods.
I
Like,
wanted to make sure before you move on to something else that you understand and you agree with me that perhaps animal consumption, whether it be hunting or animal agriculture, we should eliminate that if that is the primary driving factor of over 96% of species extinction and endangerment.
wait, say again. I'm sorry. It cut on my end.
So you're concerned about the population of other species and their longevity, but our animal consumption, whether it be due to hunting or animal agriculture, is responsible for 96% of endangerment and extinction. Don't you think by eliminating that and allowing these populations to bounce back naturally instead of our intervention, which has been consistently problematic, don't you think that would be the logical solution?
Yeah, but my concern about the deer population in specific, and that's why I used a specific example and not just any animal, because people in my community from my hometown, I don't live there anymore. I live in a city now, but people from my rural ass hometown. A lot of them are broke. A lot of them live off their land. A lot of them hunt. And with hunting, they can get 2 tags a year.
So so that's
They can kill
yeah,
two
but they,
deer,
every
and that
single
is their
person you're talking
livelihood.
about in Michigan,
That is my issue with
every single
the
person you're
wolf
talking
population.
about from Michigan still shops at a grocery store, right? They still have options, and actually, and I'm from Michigan, and I've traveled the state a lot. I'm originally from Michigan. Every single place I visited and had to find food, um, when I was just living out of my
Okay, let me
van.
ask you where in Michigan, because I'm talking about a very different version of Michigan. I'm
No,
from the
I'm
UP.
saying like when I was like living out of my van. I mean, I grew up. I initially grew up in the southeastern Michigan, but when I was living out of my van, I was living all around Michigan, like out of national forests and stuff. Didn't have a whole lot of money to spend. I would buy some pretty inexpensive foods like beans and rice and stuff like that that I could cook. They're pretty inexpensive, right? And people in Michigan aren't relying on 100% of their hunts. The amount of people that do
I'm not
that
saying
are
that, but I'm saying in my
statistical
community, a
outliers.
lot of people did though. You don't know where I grew up. And if you know anything about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, it is
Yeah,
like
I
the most
do.
rural place you can probably be in some of the parts of the states. Like it's some of the most rural, poor, whatever parts of the
And
states.
so is where I live down in the
But I'm
Ozarks.
saying
Like
it's more
it's irrelevant.
sustainable for
Every
some
single
families to
person
pay
that you
for
are referring.
two deer tags and live.
Go ahead, Ozark. Finish your point. Sorry. No,
I
let's
was
try
just
to
saying. So do
reduce
I.
the talking over each other. DG, I know you want to prove your point, and Ozark as well. But when you make a
But we're
claim,
walking in
just
circles here because he doesn't
So
understand
here,
where my
how
viewpoints,
about
my
this?
standing is from.
I will come down to your level here and agree with you and say there might be some people, but they are considered statistical outliers, right? Almost everybody else doesn't have to on the planet. Almost everybody else. So, barring those statistical outliers, whether that might actually be the case for them or not in Michigan, um, but barring statistical outliers, that's less than 0.03% of the whole population. Don't you think everybody else should consider not consuming animals?
I feel like as humans and as any other animal, we all have a choice and we can do honestly whatever we want if you think it's right for your morals, not what the majority of what every other people's morals are. I don't
So
feel
do
like
you?
we should follow a movement's
Do
moral
you
compass
think
and like bow
harming
down to a
is
moral compass
so
because
you think exploiting others and taking their lives unnecessary for your pleasure is ethical? Like anybody could just decide to do that. You think that's ethical?
so me killing like 10 deer my whole or like
No,
10
no, no,
deer in
no,
my
no, no.
lifetime
You
so
say
far, that's unethical versus our government who finances.
no. I'm talking about you specifically. So if I decided that it was moral for somebody to go out and start unaliving humans or even farming humans to use them. According to what you just said, that is okay.
Did you say farming humans?
Yeah, I mean, humans are animals, right?
Yeah, but I would think anybody would know that eating a human is like the most like non-nutritional thing. Like our
That's not
bodies aren't.
actually not true. The nutritional equivalency is a pig.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean we have the same taste, texture, whatever when we cook our meat. Like we obviously, I don't know if I'm into true
Wait,
crime. I've heard about cannibals who
you're
like hate eating
justifying
humans,
harm.
but they still do it because it's
So
like a
so you're
wire.
justifying the exploitation based off of somebody else's taste or texture.
So let me ask you this then: why do vegans?
Wait. Can you answer the question first?
I'm going to answer the question with a question. Then why do vegans eat meat replacements? Like, why do they get fake burgers, or why do they get fake chicken tenders or fake
Because we
ribs?
didn't quit eating animals because we didn't like the taste of animals. We quit eating animals because we realized that unnecessarily ending the life of another being because we wanted 5 minutes of satisfaction in a meal was unethical.
But isn't that still like glorifying it a bit? Would you
No,
at
it's
least
not
admit that?
glorifying it. We are okay. So can you tell me how is consuming something that is similar to something but not exploitive, like somehow at the same level?
Well,
Like,
it's
okay,
just the
I'm
message
gonna try
behind
to
it. You
use a
guys,
better
like, you tell
example here.
everybody
I'm
else
gonna
not to
try to
eat
keep
meat,
it
but then
as.
you're eating something that looks
I'm gonna
just
try.
like meat.
Hold on. Let me just backtrack. I'm gonna try to use a better example. I'll try to keep this as PG as possible. But people that use Schmeck's toys, right?
Yeah.
If it feels the same, they get the same pleasure, but they just didn't want it from the real thing for whatever reason, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying like especially in like when you're making like this is a moral debate. Like this is your guys' like moral compass, right? Like analogies like that do not like
Okay, so
relate
again,
as
we
well.
didn't quit consuming animals because we didn't like the taste or the texture. We quit because we realized that we don't need to exploit another being for 5 minutes of pleasure and just ruin that other being's existence because we want to feel pleasure from them, you know?
But okay, but I'm saying most people do not like, oh my gosh, I loved killing that animal. It's not about that. And some people do it for trophy. I know some people do it
Okay,
for sport.
so you can get the same taste and texture without doing that, right?
I mean, I've
So
had the
so
vegan meat
so
replacements. It's
when you
not the
go to
same. It'll
consume
never
an
be the same.
animal, when you go to consume an animal, that animal has to die. You don't have to do that. So you're doing it for your pleasure. You're doing it for your desire.
So would you be fine with people waiting for animals to die from their natural lifespan and then collecting the animal after they died and eating it? Like, would that be better? Because some people do that with
That
their
would be
cows.
that would be ethically neutral. I mean, the only objection that I would have from that is that could be somebody else's meal in the wildlife or in the wilderness that doesn't have access to a grocery store like other wildlife. But sure, that would be ethically neutral.
Okay.
Right.
So
The thing here we are discussing is the unnecessary exploitation of others because we want to do it, not because we have to. This argument isn't out of people that necessarily have to do that. This
right.
is for most people that have options and don't have to do that.
So can I bring up something like another hunting standpoint, like viewpoint, I should say. Like you get in my shoes and you can see like where my scope is, like where I'm looking through, okay? So unlike normal like carnivores or omnivores in nature, right? They do not discriminate what they kill. They kill like they kill baby deer, they kill other baby animals, they kill pregnant animals, they kill whatever, right? They just do it because they need to eat at that moment, and they don't care about the ethics or the morality, right? But
Okay.
with the DNR, and let me finish this point. I feel like it's a good point. With the DNR, they restrict killing a pregnant animal because they never set the seasons up to like when the mating season is. Like you'll never kill a female deer during the season as long as you're smart enough that is pregnant because it's wrong. We look at it as wrong. Like even though we hunt animals and yes, we do kill them, we still have ethics. We do not shoot them in the head. We don't do that. We go for a different like instant kill shot. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I understand what you're
So
saying. I guess
we,
my
as
question
hunters,
is,
we discriminate in the best
no,
fashion because we're trying to do it
I
as
know how the
ethically as
DNR and
possible.
hunting works. Like I'm not ignorant to that. Like I grew up um, with half of my family being avid hunters, right? I understand what you're saying. I know how the DNR works, but the question here is how do you ethically take somebody else's life when you don't have to?
How
Like
do I why do I do it, or
how
like
is that ethical?
how is it, or like why do I do it?
No, how is that ethical? Like how do you like find that ethical? You are unnecessarily ending the existence of another because you want to enjoy how they taste.
So I'll do this. Like I have my own like moral compass, and I believe it's like fine to kill an animal in like in that fashion because it's like one, it's in a natural setting. I'm not mass killing animals in this setting. I'm just killing one or two a season.
You're avoiding the question,
No, I'm
right?
not.
Yes, you are. So how is it ethical? How is it ethical to take the life of another when you don't have to do it, um, but you do it because you want to enjoy the taste of that individual.
I will say I don't hunt anymore, right? Like I did when I was in my hometown where I had like access. I'm in a different state. I don't have my hunting license yet in this state. But I'll say back then I did it because I was like, oh shit, this is enough food for my whole family for a season. One deer can feed a family of 4 for almost a whole year.
Sure, I understand that, but
So
you
from
also
my
have
standpoint, it was
access.
like
You
it's
also
more
have
affordable.
access.
My family, we don't have the
Okay, so you also have access, and most hunters heavily rely on the grocery store. So the amount of cost and offset really isn't going to be terribly different than if you were to be on a whole food plant-based diet, right? So again, like I'm trying to understand how you can ethically justify taking the life of another individual because you want to do it. You don't have to do it. You have other options.
Yeah, so sorry, I need to take on this something. There is no such things like half moral thing to do. Is a moral thing or it just not? Because you can unalive someone that doesn't want to die and said like, oh, she's pregnant, so I'm not going to unalive her, but she's not, so I'm going to unalive her because okay, that's okay by me. So if we have put on an example, I'm going to again to serial killers. They have their justifications in their heads, in their morals, and that doesn't make it okay. Also, pedophiles have their justification, and they think that is okay, and that doesn't make it okay, because that is no moral, there is no ethical thing like killing someone or raping someone. There is not such thing as that. Even either you are ethical or you are not. Even either you have morals or you don't. There is not such thing like half moral. You
Okay, so
can
do you guys
choose.
drive cars? Because that kills animals too.
Okay, so do you understand the
Oh, no,
difference?
no, 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 no,
Do you
no,
know
no.
what
We're not going to
exploitation
that
is?
way.
Well,
Sorry.
let's do this for a second. Do you know what exploitation is? DG, do you know what exploitation is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Like in terms of animals or just general exploitation?
In terms of animals.
I would say, because this is where I'm coming from. I just don't understand why you guys are like,
No, I'm just
constant.
asking
No,
you a
I'll
quick
just say this. I
question
don't
so we can
understand
be
the
on the
constant
same
muting
page.
when I'd say versus somebody like I'm going more from the hunting aspect. I
No,
don't
no,
like industrial. I
just
don't.
hold on,
Once
pause for a second, because this is really important to your
I can never get a
question,
point
your
on.
inquiry.
It's like I
Well,
can't get
hold
a
on.
point on.
Because you keep dancing around it. So I'm going to ask you again, just briefly explain what exploitation is so we can be on the same page here and you can understand why driving a car is different than breeding somebody into existence and taking their life to consume, or going out into nature and taking somebody else's life so you can consume. Do you know what exploitation is, yes or no?
Yes, because as a hunter, a form of animal exploitation would be hunting out of season and mass killing deer, or gathering a group of animals, mass breeding them for
Exploitation
decades,
is
and then like
unfairly
industrial
using
farming them. Like,
exploitation is unfairly using somebody else for your benefit, right?
yeah. And I would
Okay,
say
so
the thing that does
do
that
you
the
know
most
what
is industrial
veganism is?
farming. I don't agree with industrial farming.
Do
That's
you
why
know
I'm
what
trying. That's the
veganism
point I've been
actually
trying to
is?
spit out.
Well, you're even hunting when you're still like going out and taking somebody else's life, you're unfairly using them for your benefit. So do you know what the argument behind veganism actually is?
You can go on mute.
I said it's to end animal exploitation. I know that. If we weren't
Okay, so
wouldn't
how
you hear
is
my points?
driving a car exploiting an animal?
Because you're driving it in nature where they live, and those
Okay,
emissions
so
over time do kill animals.
when I'm driving my car, what animal am I using unfairly for my benefit?
Any of the animals in that area.
How am I using that animal unfairly for my benefit?
Well, you're not. Well, I'll just say this. Then it's not exploitation. It's just general harm.
Okay, so harm exists, right? I can go out walking on my orchard farm to do some work, and I might accidentally step on some bugs, right? That's harmful.
Oh yeah, but you took its life for no reason.
That's not going out of my way to unnecessarily take the life of another because I want to use them. Do you understand the
Okay,
difference
now can I
here?
get back to my point why I was about to
Well,
explain
I'm
why
asking, do you
exploitation
understand the
still
difference here?
exists in veganism? Do you
Do
want to
you
hear it?
understand the difference here? Can you at least just answer that? Do you understand the difference here?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. You can continue. I'll listen to what your next inquiry.
So you guys are against animal exploitation, right? That's what you're pretty much the basis of like veganism is. It's just to end animal exploitation.
As
right?
far as practical and possible, yes.
Okay, I'm just saying in the production of like agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like when they make
Go ahead.
farmlands or when
Yep.
they use pesticide or when they use bees to help the growth of the crops, those animals die too. They're animals. Like bees is a living being, and it's being
Okay, so the reason
exploited,
why
and it's being used as a worker bee
bees are
to
used,
produce your avocados. They help
the
in the
reason
growth of avocados
our
and multiple other
avocados, the
crops across the
majority of
country.
people that consume avocados are not vegan, but the reason why migratory bees are used is because of their double profiting. They're used because of their honey and to also pollinate. They drive out local pollinators, right? It is a non-vegan practice, and nearly all of the farmers on the planet are not vegan, so they don't care. So that like people that are choosing to do less harm in that aspect, you can't call them a hypocrite because they are working within what is within their means, right? So bees isn't a good argument to go out and unnecessarily take somebody's life because you want to benefit from it, right? And again, most people that eat avocados are not vegan. Now, in regard to where you're going with like the pesticides and stuff like that, can I ask you a question regarding that? So DG, you mentioned like pesticide and harm that comes from crops. So I'm just going to ask you, because you're on mute, do you think that there is a difference between somebody coming into your house and you beating them up out of defense versus you going out and specifically punching somebody else in the face because you want to?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty obvious, yeah.
All right, so you understand like people need to eat, right?
Obviously.
So if I go out and for some reason, and there are better practices that like I practice and other people who are vegans that farm and practice, but if for whatever reason I go out and I need to protect my livelihood, and that causes harm to another because they are threatening my livelihood, my food source, would you agree that that might be considered self-defense?
I suppose.
Okay, so you understand the difference between defending yourself and going out specifically to end the life of another individual because you want to use them?
Sure.
Okay, so you get the difference there. So that satisfies the whole crop deaths. You're trying to somehow conflate some of the harm that happens with exploitation when it's not actually exploitation. And what we are specifically addressing here is the unnecessary exploitation of others.
Okay, and I get that. Okay, but my point is, no matter what diet you choose, you can be vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever. There's going to be exploitation in all of those, and let me explain this. Even with vegetables, like the production, the importation, you're exploiting humans. There's some people who are slaves and have to farm vegetables
So
that we eat in our country. It's
okay,
like
so do you know that like in regard to agriculture, the majority of human exploitation occurs with animal agriculture?
yeah, like coffee beans, whatever. Like
No, it's
everything.
animal agriculture. The majority of human exploitation happens in animal agriculture.
Oh, I thought you just said agriculture in general.
No, and nobody's denying that exploitation of humans doesn't exist, even in plant agriculture. But I'm going to break down some statistics.
So, but
for you
my statement is, what's your guys'
Well, I
angle
understand
if
what
there's
your
always going to be
statement is,
exploitation of
and I'm trying
another
to.
factor? That's
Well, I'm trying to
main
follow
concern.
up with, right? I know exactly what you're asking. So I'm going to give you some brief statistics, and then I'm going to give you a concept to just kind of think about here, right? So we grow enough food without the 90 billion plus animals that we consume every year and most of the crops to feed them, right? So we grow enough food to feed the human population comfortably, like a nutritious diet. So what you're sitting here is you're defending, consuming animals and stuff like that, when we don't have to do that. And most of that exploitation happens in industry that is completely unnecessary, right?
I'm gonna be honest. Like, there is still ethical farming and everything
How
for
do
me.
you?
I can
Okay,
go
so
down. I can go down
just
to a local farm who, like they are more ethical than an industry farm. You know what
local
I'm saying?
farms generally have less oversight than factory farms, and the potential for abuse is a lot higher at local farms because of that lack of
I would
oversight.
say
And most of
there's a
those
lot more
animals
abuse
still
that
go to
still
the
happens
same
at factory farms. There's
slaughterhouses.
chickens shitting.
So, and most of those animals still go to the same slaughterhouses that factory farmed animals go to. And that still never satisfies the point. How do you ethically take the life of somebody that you don't have to because you want to, and because you want to enjoy the taste of them or wear them or whatever? Like, it doesn't satisfy the question. There's no ethics. There's no ethics in unnecessarily taking the life of somebody because you want to do it. Do you think that would be okay if somebody did that to people that you loved?
Wait, what do you say?
Like Jeffrey Dahmer, for example. He enjoyed the taste of humans,
But
right?
I thought you guys aren't looking for animal equality to humans. So why do we keep bringing up these human analogies? Like, that's my biggest issue too. Like, if you guys can't
Are
do anything
humans
but
animals?
analogize, I won't like.
Okay, are humans animals?
Yes, but I'm saying we're different species. Every species
Every
doesn't treat
single
the other
species is
species as
different from
equal.
each
Does
other.
a bear treat a
Every
baby
single
deer
species.
equal?
It's not humans are unique from every other animal, and every other animal is the same. Every single species on the planet is unique from each other.
Yeah.
That is not a justification to unnecessarily take the life of another individual.
But we have a unique moral compass too. We don't kill each other. We think it's wrong to kill each other. We don't, SA
Is
each
that
other.
so?
We don't do that
Sorry,
to
guys.
children.
Sorry,
You don't?
time out, both of you. Sorry, time out. Okay.
Are we gonna hear another analogy?
No, the thing is
No,
that,
you
like, I
are
don't
going to
understand.
be. We are just finished with you because you are not hunting anymore, and your morals and ethics are for your convenience, and we are not going to discuss that. And you are here just speaking
No,
up
because you guys are talking
arguments.
in circles.
Let me speak. Thank you. Let me speak. You have to know the basis for debates. Okay, so we are
I do
not
know the
here.
basis. You don't even.
We are not here to hear you say argument and just like talking about anything you want but the questions we ask. So
When I try
this
to answer one of your guys' questions, my answer is never good enough. That's the
That's
issue.
the thing. Every single thing I've inquired about, you said you have understood, and then when I actually apply it to logic, you avoid the question.
No, it's because I have a unique moral compass. I have different ethics.
I was talking. Sorry, I was talking. Please, DG, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate everything you said. We don't agree with you. You don't agree with us. So I think this conversation has come to an end.
Oh, wow. So you guys are ending the debate because you can't actually not speak
No,
up.
because you're not making any sense. You're not listening, man. Like, we keep telling you that humans and non-human animals are not the same, and then you went right back to that. You came in here saying that you were trying to make the argument that hunting is more ethical but then you openly told Ozark that you don't hunt anymore. So why are we talking about hunting if you still eat animal flesh? Where do you get it from if you're not hunting?
I buy it
So
from
you're
hunters.
you're just going in circles. You're not understanding what Ozark is saying. You're not listening. You're just trying to talk over everybody. We're not having a productive conversation. We just keep having to re-explain things to you, and then you keep pivoting and going to other areas. Crop deaths. This. Oh, what about the ants that you step on? Like it's not
I
clicking
didn't
for
bring
you.
that up.
So.
That was your friend.
No, you brought
How
it up.
about
You
how
said,
about
"What about?"
this?
You said, "Do you drive a car?" Did you not bring that up? Did you not say, "Hey, do you drive a car?"
Well, you
I
also,
said
he also said
so
pesticide
driving
use
cars,
too,
can
so
you
you're
admit
being
it does
disingenuous.
affect animals and
Well,
their
you also
livelihood?
said pesticide use too, and that's crop deaths. Like, come on, let's not be disingenuous.
So what argument do you guys want to hear? Do you guys just want
Okay,
me to
let just
concede to
answer
every
this
argument that
question
you guys bring up?
directly.
Like, do you guys...
DG, let me ask you the question directly. I'll give you one more chance, and if you deflect, guys, just kick him because he's not here for a genuine discussion. DG, how do you ethically take the life of somebody when you don't have to? Like, how do you ethically end the life of somebody because you want to use them, enjoy them?
Because my ethical and moral compass is different
No,
than yours.
that's not
Okay,
the
that's not
question.
an answer.
How? That's not
How?
the
Because
question.
I was raised to hunt and eat meat, and I still buy
Explain
meat
to us
from hunters.
why you think why in your moral compass why it is okay. Just answer that simple question. Don't say you grew up hunting. Don't say that you have a different moral compass from us. We understand that you do. We want to understand the straight, simple answer of in your moral compass, how do you ethically take the life of an animal that does not want to die, that you do not need for a necessity? Can you please explain it from your moral compass?
Wait, could you repeat like that last half? I'm sorry, it cut out again on my end.
You said that you have a different moral compass from us. We just want to know, based off of your moral compass, how do you ethically take the life of an animal unnecessarily?
Okay, how do I ethically take the life of an animal? I use the kill shot, instant kill. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're just too dense to understand the question. I'm just going to
I'm
kick you.
not
Goodbye.
dense. I can
How is it ethical? Like, what would be the
Thank
difference
you.
of?
Sorry,
Okay,
Ozark. Someone
it's
kick him.
okay.
I
Sorry,
don't
he
know.
was just not. This was too much. He was here just to discuss his morals. I don't know where that stands for, because either you are or you aren't. You can kill unalive someone who doesn't want to be unalive ethically. O sea, that's impossible for me, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the issue I had was he kept bringing up these points, and then when I would like break it down and highlight the differences in scenario and everything that we were discussing, he would agree. And then when I tried to practically apply it to the ethics and like his consumption or whatever he was arguing for, he would just sidestep and like dance around it and like just move right onto something else without even like acknowledging it.
Yeah, I was just not happy with his intervention because he just keep telling us why why it's okay to unalive someone, and that for me just stops everything, because there is no right way to do it.
Yeah, the whole well, my ethical or my ethical compass or whatever is just different is not a logical answer. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
just
it,
doesn't
it
make
is
sense.
not.
Like,
It
would
doesn't.
that hold up in a court of law? Like,
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's weird because I just don't understand why people said that they are unaliving animals and that's okay. How can that be okay? I would
yeah,
love to someone be here and explain to me why it's it okay in a moral and ethical basis, not just with a justification that because my ancestors did it, we have canine teeth, my family is a hunter. I don't know, that's just justification for me. I need to know why it's okay in the definition and of the moral and ethical, because they will not be finding any answer for that question. That's why they keep deflecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys having me up. I heard him start mentioning like hunting and like populations of other animals, and then I just kind of went on with it. But thanks for letting me join. I appreciate it.
Of
Let you
course,
guys
yeah.
get back to it.
No,
And
thanks. Yeah,
No,
I
thanks
definitely
to you
appreciate you
also.
being here. Yeah, you definitely know more about that, line of reasoning from the hunter perspective and just the overall, farming perspective. So yeah, I appreciate you being here and kind of taking
yeah,
over.
yeah. Speaking of farming, I got to get ready to get outside while the weather's nice here. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you, Ozark.
Bye.
Sheesh. What a headache.
Yes.
I just don't. It's like I don't understand how people just can't answer the question. Just answer it straightforward. Even if you're scared, you're gonna sound crazy. Just answer the question. But
I really like to hear someone said that I like to kill animals and that's my moral justification and said, okay, so you need to go to a psychiatrist, maybe. And then we can fix that.
yeah, I'd rather just at least that. I mean, something.
Yeah, I think people are so uneducated about the things that happen to animals and why they eat what they eat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We are just living in a autopilot state, like just in living and eating whatever we want, doing harm in any way possible without even knowing. And I think humanity needs to do some research about what are your impact on others, not only humans,
Mm-hmm.
because I think everyone is on our autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would have given him more credit if he just kept like with what he came up here with, but he started with hunting and then saying he wasn't a hunter, and it's like, well, we ended up all the way over here. So why are we talking about this if you felt like hunting was more ethical and whatever?
Yeah, and the do you drive a car was just out of a line because if you want the numbers, a roadkill, an estimate number can be at 10 million of animal kills on the road. But the meat industry kills billions of animals, 83 billion land animals a year. So do the math, you know? Me not eating meat cause less harm than me driving a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want the facts. So I don't know. It's weird.
How you feeling? You want to pull up another person?
Yeah, if you have some, I don't know why I can't pull up anyone.
Let me see. Let me check why that is. Let's see if I can. Let's see.
Do you have any requests?
Yeah, there's like 5 requests right now.
Okay,
Let me change the options. Let me see. I have to go to. Let me make
it's
sure that you
okay.
have the ability to do it, and then you can pick. Because I might have to. If the conversation goes on for too long, I might have to like step out for a work meeting. But I don't want to take away from the fact that we kind of have what's happening right now going on. I want to keep it going as long as you're good to continue. I just need to figure out Persona. Where do I go to find the moderator controls? Adjust the permissions. That's what I can't find. There should be a place for me to change my mods. Let me see. Multicast. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know why or how.
Persona, please help us. Yeah,
On
because I'm trying
mobile.
to. It says like live access. Let me see. Live access is needed to go live as a guest.
Here we go.
What?
I think think I found it. Okay, manage access. Manage. Yeah, it says you have the ability to manage guests. That's weird. I guess I'll just pull somebody up then if there's still somebody there. We got Daddy Earth, Joey G, Anakin, Sky Shredder, but I think I think I've seen that name before, and Rob. Which one sounds appealing to you?
Mm. By the
None of them.
user? None of them. Yeah, but you can put like
Pull-
Daddy Earth maybe, I don't know.
Daddy left.
Or
Ew.
Joey G. We have one. Hello.
Yeah, pull all of them up. They're spinning, so let's see who's still here. They might not be here anymore. Yeah, they're all spinning. I wish it would just, if they left already, that their request would just go away, but it stays there, so it looks like they all left.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were trolls maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have viewers. Oh, Keith is here. Also Alec.
Vegan powers. I just pulled. Even Daddy Earth is calling out DG. Is DG still here? I don't think so.
Oh, Daddy Earth is vegan, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Never seen them before.
I think he is. Because the user is Satan Sausage. He has to be vegan. We are all vegans.
For real. I like that you I have to do what you did. I like that you went straight to hey, we're not here to talk about the diet because we're vegan, we're not plant-based, and let's just stick to the ethics. I need to do that more often. That's really good that you did that.
I think everyone just focus on the diet and just make me crazy because it's not about my diet. It's just about my moral and ethical choices and my weight and my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not my diet, because even if I'm a fruitarian, if I maybe eat only fruits, pardon, sorry. Yeah, that's not a problem. It's my diet. It's not my morals.
Yeah. My spicy account.
What does it means?
I don't know.
Like your OnlyFans account?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's my spicy account where I look at all the OnlyFans people. Press share, then yellow circle.
Which yellow circle?
I don't know. Persona. Let's see.
Is there Persona has like all the tricks on TikTok. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure this person is a troll.
Yeah,
Let's
I will
see.
be ready to kick him out.
Hey, Drake, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, are you over
Hi,
18?
Drake.
Yes, I am 21.
Okay, cool.
What your year?
2003. It's in my name.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
Drake's in your name and you're not Drake, right? No, I'm just kidding. Do you understand what veganism is?
I do not. Well, I do. Well, obviously, I know it's, what it is. I don't think I understand the ins and outs of it, though, like morally.
Yeah. You want to take this one? Or you want me to take it? Gabby?
Yeah, you can take this one.
Oh. Yeah, so veganism, the why, which maybe you understand, vegans don't consume animals. Yeah, but the why is, veganism is a philosophy and it's a lifestyle where we seek to exclude, as far as possible and practicable, all forms of animal exploitation and cruelty. So that means humans as well, non-human animals, and as far as exploitation and cruelty, we're talking about food, wearing them as clothing, using them for entertainment. So circuses, zoos, horseback riding, dog racing, bullfighting, things like that. Does that make sense?
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Like using them for entertainment, that I 100% agree with. Like,
So you think eating them is okay?
Are you are you religious by chance?
Me myself, no, I don't. I can't speak for vegan knowledge.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. Well, in the Bible, it says they were put here for us to eat. So it's like that. That's that's one reason.
Well, do you base your morals off of like do you feel like morals are subjective or objective? Meaning like do you think you as an individual go about your life and you are determining what's right and wrong, what makes you feel uncomfortable, or do you just think that we should just base all our morals of, of life from what somebody said in a book written thousands of years ago?
Right, objective. I see.
Really? So do you think that what can I ask what religion you are?
Christian.
So do you think that
Okay.
I can't be vegan if I'm a Christian then, since God said I have to consume animals?
No, no, it doesn't say anything against that.
Yeah. So then how can you say objectively if two people can read the same book and one decides, "Oh, even though God said this, I don't have to." Like, can't you do the same thing?
It says you can. It doesn't say you have to. You know what I mean? Like it's just an option, I guess. And I guess
Yep.
Go ahead, Kevin.
uh,
Sorry, Drake. Did you know? Have you read the Bible completely?
no, not completely.
Okay, so did you know that in the Bible, when people can't be divorced because it's a sin?
Um, no.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna suggest you that before you apply something that a book said, you have to read it first completely. So if you are going to take literally everything that book said, you can get a divorce. We have to throw some stones at women that get divorced. We have to be we have to do so many things that we can't do right now in this society in this year because everyone has rights now. So before you use the argument of the Bible, because the Bible said, please read the Bible completely and we can have this discussion again. Because if you are going to use the Bible as your moral book to live your life, you have to apply everything that says in there, not just the things are convenient for you, like eating animals.
Well, like we're all sinners. You know what I mean? We're all sinners.
Yeah, but
You can't
if
follow it
you
to
are
a
going
T.
to yeah, but if you
If
are
you want to
going to
get
follow,
divorced, I mean that's ideally you would want to stay with them for the rest of your life, but
yeah, but your Bible doesn't permit that. Your book prohibit that. So again, if you are going to use the Bible argument, please read the Bible and come back to us to discuss your moral views on that. Because
okay,
there are so many topics on the Bible that you, as men, can't apply right now because you are going to jail if you do that.
okay.
So
I'll
the
avoid
Bible is
the
not an
Bible.
argument. Yeah. So why
Okay,
aren't you vegan?
okay. I think there's my another point. I think there's too many starving people to limit our food sources right now.
Oh,
There
sorry.
are so much. Sorry, I lost you.
I said I think there's too many starving people to limit our food sources right now.
Did you know
So what?
that 70 to 80% of the crops that we grow is fed to the animals that people eat? Did you know that, Drake?
Uh,
So like the
no.
vast majority of our crops are then being fed to animals to then consume the animals. So it's very inefficient. So
Well,
if we
it's a bit of a
eliminated
cycle.
animal but if we eliminated animal agriculture, we could free up more land because we're not taking up 60% of this is just US alone. I think it's 60% or 30 anywhere between 30 to 60%. I'm not going to quote that, but we're using the majority, almost half of our land in the U.S. just for animal agriculture alone. And then we're doing things like burning down trees in the Amazon rainforest to make more space for animal agriculture. So we're pretty much using up not only the majority of our land for animals and animal agriculture, but we're also then feeding the majority of our crops to the animals to then consume them. So it's a very, very inefficient. If we cared about starving people and starving children, it's more of a reason to go vegan, because we would reduce the land that we use for animals, and then we would also stop feeding them the majority of our crops as well. So, yeah, people need to eat. Sorry, go ahead. I'm not going to address the comment section, but yeah, you could feed more mouths if everybody adopted a plant-based diet. Sorry.
So, what about fertilizer? Doesn't that come from animals?
I can't speak directly on that. There's a couple vegans in the community that are, maybe Lydia's experienced in that. She's in here, but no, there are definitely ways to do veganic farming, meaning that you don't use animal products to fertilize the soil. There are ways.
So, you think we'd have more crops without fertilizer?
No, we would have different fertilizer. We use cow
I mean,
fertilizer
like,
because it's a waste product, and we're using it for the simple fact that it's just efficient to use the waste that animals are already producing to then use as fertilizer. But we wouldn't need to use that.
So
We would find alternatives if that was the case.
I have a few plants, and I know it's not a crop, a big crop. I know Lydia has a better intake on this, but I use natural fertilizers as the shells of carrots, onions. Also, I use for some plants coffee,
mhm.
like the left of the coffee. Well, I use mostly all the scrap of veggies. I just put them on my plants, and sometimes I use for other plants a little maple syrup, just a little. Also the skin of the pineapple. It's great. It's a great fertilizer. You just have to do the research on natural fertilizers, and it won't be so hard for you to find some.
Okay. I mean, not me. I just meant like on the grand, like farming. Big farms. Big farmer. Um, what was I gonna say? Um,
So
I just lost my train of thought.
yeah, no worries. Have you even considered to go on a plant-based diet?
Um, I'm I'm a big gym guy, so I like to get my protein in. I know
Oh, me
there's
too.
substitutes for that, but I don't know. I just don't think it'd
Okay.
be.
Okay, so I'm going to recommend to you a documentary called The Game Changers. I think it's on Netflix. The Game Changers. It's a great documentary. It's plant-based. And for those that gains things, the muscle and everything, you can have the idea there and watch so many people like Nimai Delgado. You should look him up on Instagram, the Game Changers. You have also Lewis Hamilton. You have the strongest world man in the world. Also is vegan. So that's not an excuse right now for not being at least plant-based.
I know he's not the strongest, but he is strong. Yeah, he's very good at what he does. Um,
Yeah. Do you know Novak Djokovic? No,
uh,
the
no.
tennis. Yeah, well, he's vegan.
Okay,
Arnold
okay.
Schwarzenegger is vegan too, so yeah. You have to
Now he
Patrick
is.
Baboumian. Yeah, Patrick Baboumian has the world record of the holding strongman. Nimai Delgado is a professional bodybuilder. Kendrick Ferris, American record holding weightlifter. So yeah, maybe you should watch this documentary. And in case you want to know more about veganism, you can watch the documentary called Dominion. It's here on the screen. You can watch Dominion. It's a long documentary, almost 2 hours, but I suggest you to at least, if you can, watch 30 minutes. And we are open to discuss your intake on this after you watch Dominion and the Game Changers. What would be your thoughts on the plant-based diet and the vegan life?
I think it's actually like if you're worried about your heart and worried about I think your cholesterol, I think the vegan diet can be good for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, veganism is something and plant-based diet is other thing. So
Right.
we are vegan because we don't want to exploit animals and don't use animals in our favor to entertainment, to food or anything for entertainment or food. And plant-based is just a simple diet. It's a diet. Like if you are vegetarian, pescatarian, like whatever, it's a diet. If you are looking for health reason, you can go plant-based. But if you are interested in learning how we are exploiting animals and torturing them, you can research about veganism. You can go on Challenge 22 page. You can also watch the Dairy is a Scary Conspiracy. And yeah, you will find maybe some light there.
Okay. So from what I can tell, the moral thing is the killing of the animals, like just in general.
No, it's like
Um,
Or
the
is it how
idea
they
of
do it?
just commodifying them is the problem, not how they do it. Doesn't matter if you do it better or safer or without the animal knowing or the fastest or anything. It's just commodifying them, meaning that seeing them as a resource, seeing them as a product for us to use, because that would extend past just the act of unaliving them and go into things like using honeys for honey or using bees for honey or using chickens for eggs or using cows for milk, because when you purchase those products, you're still perpetuating the idea that they're only here to serve us and they're here for a resource for us. And those industries exist because of that mentality. So, yeah, we're against not just the unaliving of animals, but the seeing them as a commodity and not just giving them the basic right to just living and being left alone. That makes
Yeah,
sense?
sorry, I'll say it on live next time. I just realized. Are you
It's okay.
against hunting?
yeah, of course we are because in any form we are against of killing animals and using them for any commodity or anything to our favor. Like zoos, we are against zoos. We do not support horse riding, fox hunting, dog hunting, dog races, horse races, bullfighting, anything that involves animals and that we can have like quote unquote joy about it or out of it. Do you have any more questions about veganism?
What do
Do
you
you
think
do you,
about cultures that celebrate death, like Cinco de Mayo and Day of the Dead, all that?
Cinco de Mayo is not something that is bad because they are not celebrating killing people. They are celebrating or they are honoring their ancestor. They are dead. They are not celebrating killing people, or encouraging to kill people. You have to maybe look out about that too because Cinco de Mayo is a great culture holiday. You should look out. Even in Cinco de Mayo, you can celebrate your dead animals like your pets, or even if you have a cat or a dog. The Cinco de Mayo is something that is beautiful. That is not only related to death. It's about honoring your ancestors.
Do you think animals are conscious?
They are sentient, and yeah, they are at certain point. For me, they are. Do you
What
have dogs?
Do you have dogs, Drake, or have you ever had
I
a
have dogs.
pet dog? Yeah, and you've seen that they're individuals, right? Like you've seen they have personalities, they have wants, desires, needs,
Yeah,
preferences.
I have four dogs. They are all different, and they are so conscious about themselves and about me and about my family and about the environment, their food, their needs. They even can make them um like they know how to make themselves just to call that speak to me. They can communicate with me, just not they cannot speak, but can communicate. I know where when my dogs are hungry, when they are sad, when they are in pain. Yeah, I think they are conscious and they are sentient beings.
Well, they
So yeah.
actually evolved to do that because it's advantageous to humans, so they could get scraps and stuff. Like they evolved to beg to humans.
Do you think it's advantageous for them when they just want a belly rub? Or when you throw a stick for them to fetch? Or is it
Yeah.
advantageous for them when
Yeah,
you
because
give
it's
them
the compatibility.
but when you
They
feed
want
them a food that they don't like because for whatever reason they just don't like the taste, you think that's advantageous for them? Like they
yeah,
can still
because
just, if it was advantageous for them, they would just eat the food that I put in front of them, right? We can see that they're making decisions and making preferences, you
Yeah.
know?
yeah, because it's advantageous to be man's best friend. I mean, there's a lot of perks that come with that, and they've
So you
No,
asked
it's
if
not.
you asked if we think that these animals are conscious and sentient, but you're telling me that your pet dog or your companion animal is making decisions because they're trying to manipulate you for their benefit?
they developed the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They developed they literally developed the muscles to do that just for us. They, bro. Okay.
You're not making any sense, Drake. I appreciate that you are here trying to understand veganism and understand everything. You are being so respectful, and I really appreciate that. But maybe if you want to discuss with us further about dogs and cows and pigs, I suggest you again to do your research before coming to a panel without having any knowledge, because we are here to help. We want you to understand veganism, and that's why we have so many resources on the screen for you to watch and understand everything. So I think for the simple basis of the conversation, you need to go and do your research
I mean,
first.
what was the first thing I said when I came in here? I said I don't understand veganism. So for you to try to
Yeah, of
say that I
course.
don't understand it, well, yeah, I said that.
I know that you don't understand veganism, but
I said that. Yeah, I said that.
I know, and that's why we are suggesting you that you watch
Okay.
those all the documentaries
Well, I
here.
don't think y'all are gonna win anyone over like this.
What do you
I'm
mean?
just
She
being
was.
honest.
Hold on, because now you're being disrespectful. And she, as politely as I've ever seen any vegan, what an asshole. As polite as I've ever seen any vegan approach
I wasn't
anybody
attacking
so
him.
sensitively. Yeah, you were doing so well, and you're being very respectful. You made it a point to point out to him that like, hey, I know that you're curious, but you're a little bit uninformed on what veganism
Yeah,
is. What the
and I know
hell?
he's uninformed, but I didn't want to have the conversation where we have to put ourselves as vegans in some places, uh, answering question that's so difficult for him to get, you know. So it's better if we give them all the resources and he came back to us and talked to us again.
Yeah. Yeah, what that that really annoyed me because I was thinking, I'm like, you're I'm glad that you're here because I know that you've been like, not sure if you want to, and there's obviously like well-educated vegans in the space here, and it's intimidating. But the way that you approached delicately, like letting him know, hey, maybe there's things you don't know and you should look into it because you're kind of fighting against us, even though you said you don't understand me. Like that was beautifully said, and he responded that way to you. What an asshole.
Yeah, sometimes when you they are expecting to fight, and when you don't fight them back, you just disarm them.
Mm-hmm.
They just go like, how do I respond to kindness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They people doesn't often know how to respond to kindness and be respectful and be polite.
Yeah. And I felt like I was the one getting frustrated because he was just going to all these,
I
he's pivoting
know.
so much, and I'm like, oh god, here we go with the fucking dog thing. And it's like
I
I've
know. Thank you, Frisha. Thank you so much, Frisha. Yeah, I think I like to debate people on the kindness side and say to them like, I understand where you are coming from because I wasn't vegan all my life. I understand your why what you ignore. I understand why this can be so unlogical for you because I have been there. I have been that person
mm-hmm.
saying like, oh, so I'm going to spend my whole life without eating animals. That's impossible.
Yeah.
That I was that girl. I surely was that girl. And with that sass and being ironical and being disrespectful, but took me some time to educate myself and understand people because if we are going to fight for the animal rights and for other people to be kind to them, we have to be kind to each other. I know that I get frustrated sometimes and I get anxious and I get mad and I like to I would like to scream at people, but he was being polite, he was being kind, and he's just a kid, so
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I feel like I was the same as well too, thinking that speaking in that way and talking that way to people and being a little bit uneducated, and you get confrontational with people, but try to sympathize with people because I've known a lot of people to do bad things in my life. I've been around some pretty hurtful people, and I've better understood those people by, sympathizing with them and understanding that it's not their fault to a degree. It's not their fault. It's just how they were raised, and it's like kind of on their parents and their generationally bad habits and bad education, and it's just like how they've learned to hurt people, and you try to call those people out to bring attention to it, because I think sometimes a person doesn't realize what they're doing. They don't realize that they're being a shitty person. They don't realize they're being an asshole. They don't realize they're hurting the people around them. And it's on you to call them out, like, hey, did you ever realize like maybe what you're saying is hurtful? And that's all it takes sometimes, is to get somebody to like think about what they're doing. So yeah, but I don't know. He came
yeah.
back and liked the live, so
That's okay. I think he has good intentions because he acknowledged at the first time that he doesn't understand veganism, and that's okay because maybe at some extent we don't have the 100% knowledge about veganism, but I think we as vegans we have to look out which conversations we are going to have because we can do much harm to the movement than help to the movement.
mm-hmm.
So if we are not ready to have a certain conversation about any topic, it's better for them to find out and then come back to us to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because all the panels I have seen, um, people came on the panels and just start being disrespectful. For example, with the girls, with Wara United, people are so disrespectful to them that it scares me sometimes to go live because I just maybe can handle that kind of aggression. I think Ingrid and all the girls manage it like pros. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, like, that's the problem with, and I'll say that's the problem with men sometimes, is like they don't even have the capacity to understand why going up on that panel, why it's structured the way that it is, why they get mad that they might be getting cut off, or somebody might be talking to them in a certain type of tone. It's like, because you're not the first person to come in here. We deal
Yeah.
with this every day. We get this kind of shit from men on the daily basis every single day. We have to be precautious in how we approach with people, and we have to be stern and direct because you're not shit. And a lot of men have gone in there claiming, oh, I'm going to be nice, I'm going to be respectful, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, and then they end with a silly ass comment or a sexist joke or a misogynist joke, and it's like, well, that's why. So it's
And
always annoying.
they don't even know they are being misogynistic, and they are being disrespectful because that's the way they talk to every woman they know,
Hmm.
and they just don't acknowledge they are being disrespectful. Of course, not all men, but at least all the men of that had been on that panel have been disrespectful,
Yeah. Yeah, I never
and
understood.
they
Go ahead,
don't
sorry.
even know it.
Yeah.
They don't even know it because, like I said, it's the way they talk to everyone, to their moms, to their girlfriends, to their kids. So it's sad because they sometimes don't have I don't know, the awakening to step back and say, oh, was I disrespectful? Hmm, maybe I should think of that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And like when people say though, and Frasier said it for me, but when I see people make that sort of comment, like they make it and they get into such a hurry to defend themselves by not saying all men. It's like you're not really
yeah,
helping the problem. If you really feel that way and you're trying to like do better for most men, then you would do exactly what Free just said and call out these types of men that make those kind of comments. And like, I told this to Ingrid the other day, and maybe there's some men in here that this will help, I guess, maybe get the gears turning. But I used to train martial arts a couple years ago, and one of the instructors was a female. And when we would spar together, I instinctively, just because of how I was raised to show respect, instinctively, I was like not going as hard, or, if we were doing a submission, I would go easy. And she would tell me, and she would say, listen to me, if there's a time for you to not go easy on me, it's now, because me being a woman, this you are helping me more than you know by not taking
yeah,
it easy on me, because I need this more than any other person here. I need this more than you. I need this more than that guy and that guy. I need to know how to protect myself from other men. So do not
yeah.
go easy on me. And that for me was like eye opening, and like, damn, like I never even thought about how important this is for them, for women. So, you know,
Yeah, I have been practicing in the last year some boxing, and my sensei always took like a step back with me, and because I wanted to learn, like, I don't know to say that in English, like when you know the techniques to defend yourself,
mhm,
self-defensive techniques, I guess. And he said, like, oh, I have to be on top of you to teach you. And I said to him, I know, and that's what I need, because I know I need to know how to handle that weight on me,
mhm,
because if you don't put your weight on me, I don't know how to handle it.
exactly.
And he said, like, I know, but we have to be so close. And yeah, I know that, but how can I defend myself if I don't know how how to do the things, like, and I totally get it.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's the.
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
respect, sorry, I respect that. I know there is men out there that they are kind and polite, and this is not something about gender. This is because we have so many women that, because they think that because we are women we can be disrespectful to men. I do not support that, and I understand that those people exist. And I know this is not something that is, oh, you are a guy, you are a man, you are a boy, or you are a girl. Everyone can be disrespectful, but what I am saying is that when men go to the women's panel, I don't know why they are disrespectful. That's the thing that I'm saying. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I'm glad that I know you, that I know Persona, that I know Pornhub, you guys are the best. You are being always respectful to us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
We
that's
can
what
we
you
can
need. Yeah.
put someone.
Yeah. I just wanted to say one last thing. I do have a meeting in 5 minutes, so you might have to take over, but I'll still like, keep the live going. But I did want to address what Straker was saying about, that he was practicing with his, assuming female, because you said she, female partner, and practicing technique. Yeah, I think if it helps you understand better, I understand her fear, or maybe that she wants to practice technique in a way that you are a woman and trying to be realistic in that sense. But if we're talking strictly self-defense, she should practice against a man, because in the likelihood that she's going to have to defend herself, she needs to know what it feels like. She needs to know the weight. She needs to know how far she needs to take her submissions to defend herself, and disarm a man, because at that point it's where it's unfair, right? Because we
Yeah.
have a physical advantage. She should know how to protect herself from men in that way, and that's the difference. So that's what I would say. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I would say too, because I don't know how to defend against women, but I know we have the same, let's say, techniques of fighting. I don't know,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, you can. Men's are mostly, not every no 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 not necessarily stronger than us, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it feels different
Yeah,
for us as women. It feels different.
yeah. And the thing, Serene, is that like, and just to clarify, just in case maybe you mean all out in like boxing and like punching somebody in the face all out, definitely not. But when it comes to things like submissions and actually landing your punches, or any sort of self defense where you're going to need to use this, on instinct when you are attacked, you need to practice what it feels like. When we did submissions, when we practice
Yeah,
submissions, you go to the point. That's why they have tapping out. That's why they have to tap, right? When you have to
yeah,
go to the point so that your mind makes the connection that how far do I go for it to feel uncomfortable for my partner, my training partner. That's what makes a good training partner, is a training partner that knows when to tap. Is how far do I need to go so I teach my brain this is what it feels like to almost break a person's arm, because in the event that I need to use this for defense, I need to know what that feels like. If you train like half-assed and you don't have a partner that's going to help you understand that, then you're going to get in the habit of only going halfway with your submissions, or halfway throwing your punch, or halfway fully extended, that when you need to use it to defend yourself, you're not going to your mind is not going to react in that way to know, okay, this is what you need to do. You're going to half-ass a submission and you can get hurt. You can get, obviously severely hurt depending on the situation. So,
yeah.
um,
And even if you learn how to defend yourself, for me, the anxiety, it's sometimes overpasses, because you are never prepared for that.
yeah.
You are never prepared for that. But yeah, so you said that you have to go, right?
I have a meeting, so I have like a quick, probably like 15, 20-minute meeting, and then after the meeting, I was gonna go live again. But did you have to go too?
Yeah, I have to walk my dog
Mm-hmm.
because I walk him like 6 a.m. and
Yeah.
now it's almost 2, and he's looking at me like, okay, so I know you are standing for veganism, but you have a dog here that needs to walk.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So please be vegan
Okay. Yeah.
and walk me.
Yeah, I get it. Well then, yeah, I guess yeah, we'll end it here, and then probably around 1:15, I'm just gonna go live again. And obviously you're more than welcome to come back and join up again with me if you want, if you're up for it.
Yeah, of course. Send me the request, or send me a WhatsApp if you have my number. I don't know. I
I
think, or a message.
Yeah.
Wherever you have me, send me a message and I will come to your live.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you. I think I just got TikTok and Discord, but it's probably easier for TikTok. So I'll send you a message on TikTok
Okay,
and
thank
I'll
you so
post
much.
about it.
Thank you, Frisha. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So meet you in an hour, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Seb. Bye.
Bye, Gabby. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back in 30, 45 minutes ish. 30, 45 minutes. Just got a quick work meeting. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, Frisia. Thank you for engaging with the comments. I hope what I said at least helped. Maybe I said the right things. I hope I said the right things. But yeah, I'll be live again after my work meeting. So hopefully you guys will be around. Bye.